Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Dodgers of Los Angeles. I don't know why I decided to say it that way, but I did, and you can't unhear it, so suck it up. Um, Today's episode, we're going to be carrying the Dodgers through another season, I hope. I hope. We have some decisions to make about who we're going to protect. In the upcoming expansion draft, it's going to add the Houston Colt 45s, the New York Mets. Maybe you think those teams are a mistake, but I digress. One thing I wanted to talk about before we started playing today is something that somebody brought up in a great comment, which was, what do I hope to see from Out of the Park Baseball 23? Well, as I record this, the lockout is officially over, and I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing some things move on OOTP's front, because I don't have to renegotiate with the Players Union or whatever to get that done. But I wanted to talk about a couple of specific things I wanted to see that pertains to historical playthroughs. So, first of all, I guess it's really just the one thing. No, I do think there's other things I would want to see maybe. The first and most important thing is, it's not right. Before the Major League Draft existed, players didn't get drafted. You had to go out and scout them. You had to find them. You had scouts watching, American Legion Ball. You had scouts going to, factories, because factories would have baseball teams, and things like that. That's how these players got found. It wasn't necessarily, there was no draft. In point of fact, if you believe the internet, and I know I believe everything on the internet without any justification, that's a joke, of course I don't. The amateur draft started in the 1960s, I want to say. I'm looking it up though, so I can give you the most accurate information here. 1965. So that is when they had the first draft. And pretending that you don't have a draft in Major League Baseball is just, I guess it's a way to deal with this stuff, but I just think it would be a lot cooler if you could, say, assign scouts and they would go find players for you. And you get the opportunity to see, here's this great player, this is what we know about him, do you want to sign him? And if you say yes, then you could get potentially a fantastic baseball player. Now, I get that might be hard to code, and it might not actually be something that's possible to do, but I just think it would be really, really cool if you could do it. So that's the biggest change I would love to see, and that's kind of a thing I just want to see happen. I'm not saying that it will, or that it's easy, but I would definitely like to see that happen. A way to make it a little bit more authentic to the way games were back then. I still think scouting needs another overhaul. I like how they did scouting this season, and it feels a lot more immersive, but it's still I don't know, man. I want control. I want the ability to send scouts to a particular area and maybe have a better chance of finding somebody in a particular area and doing it that way. Rather than being told, here are all the players, scout who you want. Which I guess is how it works in real Major League Baseball, right? There's all this information today at our fingertips because of the interwebs that can tell us, hey, this is where you can go, this is where you can't go, etc., etc., etc. And that's great. But at the end of the day, I'm just I just want a little bit more flavor in my scouting. I miss what they used to do. They used to let you pick which countries you scouted. And I know it never mattered very much because a tiny portion of planet Earth produces viable baseball players. But that would be kind of cool. I'd kind of like to see that in a bit more detail. That's just me, though. Those are 2 things I'd like to see that would actually apply to these historical playthroughs. So let's start protecting some people. Mickey Mantle sucks. I'm not going to protect him. I'm just kidding. You get Mickey Mantle out of my Cold Dead Hands game. Definitely Don Cardwell, aka my only competent young starting pitcher. Red Wit, definitely Jackie Brandt and Tony Kubek. Those are easy choices for me. Look, I know he's not perfect, but I'm not looking to find a better second baseman. I guess I should actually check really quickly who's coming up in the draft. Because that's going to affect who I actually try to go after, right? Oh dear. This is not that exciting a draft, all things considered. I mean, there are some relatively decent players here, but... yeah, We'll have a think about it, but I know now that I can't necessarily count on any particular position, so I'm just going to go ahead and claim the people I want to keep. Minnie Minoso definitely is going to come back. Valdivielso comes back. Sherm Lawler comes back. Bobby Thompson comes back. Claude Austin comes back. Willard Nixon. Mike Garcia, I guess, can come back. I'm not super enthralled with him, though. I think maybe his time has come and gone, and I just need to move on and try to find a different pitcher somehow. I do want to keep Hal Smith. He is kind of my catcher of the future in case Sherm Lawler retires, which he will eventually. No, I will protect Garcia. I can't take the risk of not being able to replace him if I do let him go. And then I guess we can go ahead and protect Moorhead and Acker. I don't feel particularly obliged to, but I'll do it. Here we go. Okay. Oh yeah, Jack Fisher, the guy who's now totally worthless. Thanks, jerk. I know, I shouldn't yell at him for getting hurt. It's not his fault, but still. It's kind of his fault. It's his fault that I'm annoyed. No, I mean, I guess in true Doug fashion, I should say that it's my fault that I'm annoyed. Jimmy O'Connell is ecstatic about teaching my people in rookie ball, so that's great. And we got Sam Daly back. Awesome. Awesome to the max. I kind of feel bad that my bench coach doesn't get to do anything, so you can teach people how to be better base runners. More of this, please. This is another thing I really like to see in OOTP 23. Let me be able to pick maybe one or two players for each coach and be like, I want this guy to get extra attention. For like an increased bump in their mechanics maybe or something like that. That would be a really cool thing that I'd like to see happen. Okay, Gold Glove winner, Sherm Lawler and Jose Valdivielso. Very nice. Fred Green gets another Reliever of the Year award. Tony Kubek is our only Silver Slugger, which is kind of weird, but I dig it. I dig it. Damn, look at Red Sherndine, still turning in quality seasons. Good for him, man. Good for him. Boy, of all the trades I made that I thought would bite me on the ass, this is definitely not the one I thought would happen. I assumed he would keep declining and wouldn't be playing his very best, but boy was I wrong. Who did I get for him, though? I feel like it's still a good trade. Oh dear, I guess I really wasn't a good job. I don't even have Hal Brown anymore. Well, you know what? I still think we ended up. I think it ended up for the best, but I do kind of regret letting him go. He's probably going to make the Hall of Fame in all honesty now. Which I would not have said, by the way, when he was still a Dodger, but he's really put himself out there, and he's probably going to get to 3,000 hits a season. So good for him. You know what? Good for him. The Henderson Scarecrows want you to be a hitting coach. How about I just give you more money? How does that sound? Hall of Fame voting. Do we have any? Oh, yes, Arnold Carter. I'm kidding. I would never vote for him. I never vote for a reliever in this era anyway, but especially not for a guy like that who's not very good. Full points on the nickname Swish, but not a Hall of Famer. Here we go. Hal Trotsky. Easy. Easy choice. That's it? Damn, son. Like, he's a bona fide Hall of Famer, no doubt about it, but it's weird that we're just not seeing great players, in my opinion. I mean, look at these past votes, right? Only a couple people have over 50%. I don't hate Dom Dimaggio. I wouldn't be, like, sad if he got it. I'm just not convinced he's Hall of Famer, but why the hell not? We'll vote for him. I feel like Wally Judenich had a pretty solid career. Maybe not, again, not definitely Hall of Fame worthy, but I'm forcing myself to lower my standards because I don't want this era to be underrepresented. But this is just not really that impressive a class. Obviously, apart from Hal Trotsky. Definitely going to vote for Monty Stratton again. I hope he makes it this season. That would be cool. Yeah, I think this is a fine Hall of Fame class. I don't feel like I'm overlooking anybody important. There's no 10-year guy here that I feel obligated to vote for as one last attempt to get him in. So I'm just going to vote for these 5. And honestly, only Trotsky is almost guaranteed to make it, in my opinion. This also might be Carl Fisher's year, too. Or Monty Stratton's year. Because they're both good pitchers that just maybe didn't have quite the drive that they needed to get past that. But yeah. Oh, I never checked last time, did I? Did Joe DiMaggio make the Hall of Fame in our thing here? Yeah, he definitely made the Hall of Fame. Don't even tell me he didn't. Oh, he's not eligible yet. Okay. That explains why I never saw him. Yeah, he's just not eligible yet. But yeah, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. That's an easy choice. Vince, not so much. Vince, not so much. Alright, I'm going to quickly update this. Yep, I knew I was going to break. I'm getting smarter. Here we go. A trade proposal. Go to hell. Don't be stupid. There is nothing about this player that intrigues me more than just keeping Felipe Alou. Okay, first year player draft. Awesome. We're going to wait and see who we actually get a chance to pick. Wait, how did the Angels have a first round pick? Shouldn't it be the Mets and the Colt 45s? Aren't they the new people? I guess not. Okay. So what I'm seeing here are a bunch of players that range from pretty decent to not very good. Don Locke is a competent all-around outfielder, and that's the nicest thing I can say about him. He certainly doesn't strike me as a great fit for this club, especially when I have an outfielder that's so good I can't even play him. I mean, I do want a really, really good backup outfielder for when inevitably Bobby Thompson retires, which I'm sure is going to happen any day now. And Don Locke certainly wouldn't be an awful choice, but I don't like his profile. He's going to draw walks and hit home runs, but I'm curious if he's ever going to hit enough to justify that. Merritt Ranu. Merritt is a genuinely good hitter. I approve of that. Who's not a very good catcher. Which is not ideal. Fred Whitfield. Whitfield does have elite level power. And we do eventually need to replace Manny Mignoso. At some point, we need to replace him. It's just not an option. But I think there's another man who is a better fit for the LA Dodgers, and that's Jim Bouton. We just need starting pitching. And I sound like a broken record because I say that every single season, but it always happens to be true. I need starting pitching. And the starting pitching that I have ranges from not particularly impressive to very much a work in progress. I forgot about Bill Stafford. Like, of our current pitching staff, I have 3 starters I feel reasonably confident are not going to poop the bed. Bill Stafford, Don Cardwell, and Tony Cloninger. And it's worth noting that Mike Garcia is 38, Willard Nixon is 33, and Claude Austin is very much not an established thing yet. So all this is to say, drafting Jim Bouton does make some sense. There's also a guy like Ken Berry, who's at least an amazing center fielder, if not a great hitter yet. How many more years do I have with the Dodgers again? So I've been there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I've got 3 more seasons. We're getting to the point where I need to start prioritizing who can help me now versus who can help me in a couple years. So that's an important consideration. Guys, if Merritt Ranu was even a mediocre catcher, I would probably draft him. Ed Kirkpatrick can play all over the place and is an okay hitter, I guess. Bob Tillman doesn't really fill me with delight. Fred Norman. Yeah, friends, it's not really clear to me who we ought to draft. I mean, I could go for Dick Raditz and have just a disgusting bullpen. That's always fun. Am I gonna take Don Locke. If I talked myself into that, because the outfield is still pretty thin right now. It's pretty thin. Like, if I lost Mickey Mantle again, I'd play Felipe Alou. If I lost 2 outfielders, I have to bring up, like, Dan Dobick, which is kind of gross. I'm gonna have Jim Marshall to play first base at some point. I don't think he'd be too embarrassing to maybe get some at-bats here and there. Ugh. I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. I feel like I'm kind of obligated to take a starting pitcher. Because we keep having injury issues, and I want to make sure that if we do have another injury, I'm not caught flat-footed again. I'm also reasonably sure I can get a decent hitter later in the draft, and maybe the second round. So maybe that's the path we go. Maybe that is the objective. Alright, I'm convincing myself. Let's look at the top few starters here. So, let's look at Fred Norman. I don't like Fred Norman. I've never met the guy. But I don't like him particularly because of this. He's 5'8", 160 pounds. That means he's not likely to put too much velocity on his fastball. And the actual pitching ability he has is just not very encouraging. So I think he's a definite no. Jim Bouton is fairly polished with a pretty good mix of pitches. Doesn't throw super hard. Interestingly, no fastball, which is pretty fun. He's a maybe. I love everything about Bo Belinsky except for his control. I love his stuff. I love his movement. He's got 3 great pitches. But he doesn't have control. And if you're not throwing strikes, you're not a very good pitcher. Pete Riker is not a starter. Missed me with that bullshit. Bouton or Belinsky? Bouton is a little bit more, or Bouton. That's right, it's Bouton. He's a little bit more well-rounded. In that he's got good movement, he'll have good control, he might not strike out too many people, but he seems like he's a solid choice. Not a perfect choice, but a solid choice. Bo Belinsky is hoping that our pitching development machine can add a couple points onto his control. And that's not the worst bet, right? Like, if you want elite level talent in the back half of the first round, you kind of have to take a risk. Give me Bo Belinsky. I'm not happy about it, but I think it is the best choice of those available to me at the moment. Who is left, my friends? Ed Kirkpatrick? I mean, friends, you can't say he's not an interesting player that can play lots of positions. Phil Lynch gives us a bit of flexibility in the middle infield spot, and I don't think we have a great middle infielder to back up. I mean, as much as I love Coop, I think we do actually go and take Phil Lynch. I think he's a smart play. I mean, Bernie Allen is a more polished hitter, but Phil Lynch is a little bit better in the field, so I think he's a good choice as a utility infielder. I hope I don't miss out on Ed Kirkpatrick, because I kind of wish I had still had him, but... Wait, what? Oh, I already jumped forward. Okay. give me Ed Kirkpatrick. I love him. I think he's going to be an interesting piece to the puzzle. Gross. Any super secret megastars, you know I like finding those. That it gives me life. I could try turning Bobby Darwin into an outfielder. Why not? It's only a 4th round pick. You never know what might happen. Any super secret stuffed monsters? I'll take Jim Roland. Pardon me. And let's complete the draft. I don't feel like we've gotten significantly better this season as a result of this draft, but I think we've added some really important parts that could be relevant this season. But I don't see any starters, pardon the pun, in this draft. I don't see anybody who's going to be playing day one for us, barring a catastrophic injury. They all have some room to grow. And if they do grow, I think we'll have some pretty solid players. Like, of all the players here, Phil Lynch is the most likely to make the opening day roster as a backup. With Ed Kirkpatrick being an eventual player that I think will make the opening day roster. He's just too versatile. How can you hate a man that can play the outfield, first base, and catcher without embarrassing himself? That is elite. Let us go up to the expansion draft. Yeah, the Colt 45s and the New York Mets. Oh, who did they take? I wonder. Whom did they take in the draft? Willie Stargell was the #1 overall hitter. Gaylord Perry's #1 overall pick for pitching. I'm here for Tommy Agee, even though he was classically... No, Cleveland drafted him and they traded him to the Dodgers, right? Traded him to the Mets, that's right. That's who ended up with him. Ooh, Tony Oliva is a St. Louis Cardinal. That's interesting. Dave McNally, man, that's a missed opportunity. I wish we could have Dave McNally. Oh well. Interesting. Interesting. How do they rate Tony Oliva? Yeah, I think Tony Oliva's a little bit better than that. Didn't he just make the Hall of Fame? Like, as one of the Veterans Committees? I feel like he did. And he was kind of a weak choice, right? He wasn't like, you look at these stats, you're not like, okay. I think with Tony Oliva was just the sense that he got injured and therefore he was missing out on amazing play. And certainly looking at his rookie season, he looked like he was going to be a special player. But yeah, he's still better than Harold Baines. But I mean, that's true of literally thousands of Major League Baseball players. That's kind of damning with faint praise, right? Let us go to the expansion draft and let us sim all the things. Whatever. Did I lose anybody important is what I care about. I don't think I lost anybody. No, Bill Verdon was me. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. 'Tis a bit of a shame. I think Pete Verdon was it. Let's go to the Rule 5 draft. I want to try to find an outfielder in the Rule 5 draft if I can. I want a little bit of depth in the outfield because that's something I didn't address during the draft. I mean, yeah, Kirkpatrick kind of deals with it, but I would like to have an additional outfielder if one might be available to me. Friends, I'm not gonna lie, these are some pretty shitty choices. They're actually really shitty. Huh. Is there anybody interesting? There is not. Well, alrighty then. Then I shan't waste my time. I shall simply complete the draft. So yeah, I mean, are we more likely to win the World Series with the team we have now versus the team we had? Ooh, just missed it for Stratton. That's a shame. That is a shame. Oh well. Yeah, we're not a better team, I don't think. We're not a worse team, but we're definitely not a better team either. Can we get some more money pumped into scouting, please? Oh, wow, we're like slightly above the league baseline? That's silly. Let's get that money, yo. Like, it's free money, right? There's no reason not to spend it. That should be real good. Real good. Oh, very minor quality of life improvement. I never want to fuck with ticket prices, and I hate that it's tied to the budgets that I do care about. Please fix that. Just let me have, like, an accounting guy that can just focus on setting the ticket prices. Because I don't care enough to min-max that. I never have, and I never will. So please don't do that. That would be cash money of you. We get to open against the Houston Colt 45s. Very exciting. Oh, this is spring training. Sorry. Look, I don't mind Bo Belinsky getting some low pressure, and Phil Lynch getting some low pressure reps in spring training. I'm just not convinced it's gonna matter all that much. Here we go. Set everything, please. Set everything, please. Cool. Like, if Mickey Mantle is just Mickey Mantle again, that's going to be a pretty big boost in and of itself. I don't know how he got better as a starting pitcher when he didn't do anything, but sure. Tony Kubek got worse. That's not great. Oh my. Oh, I forgot I had that set up. Yeah, let's just for the fun of it. No. What if I offer you Bill Stafford? Yeah, I'm not giving Bill Stafford and Mickey Mantle for Willie Mays. Don't be ridiculous. I forgot I had that set. I need to remove that because there's no way in the thousand hells that I'm gonna get the player I want, right? It's just not gonna happen. Yes, I agree. Willie Mays, that's some great GMing there. Like, gosh, I've heard of this center fielder named Willie Mays. I think he might be pretty good. Yeah, you don't say. Like, any trade involving Mickey Mantle is just going to kill the team. Like, I'm painfully aware of how much we rely on Mickey Mantle being Mickey Mantle for us to be an elite team that might win a pennant. I'm not, like, slamming Felipe Alou, but if we don't have Mickey Mantle, then we're just not a very good team. It's not his fault, it's just the reality of the situation. Okay. So I would like Bo Belinsky to return to the minors, please. We may continue to start. I would like Claude Austin to be a starter, please. Art Mahaffey to the minors. Jack Fisher to the minors. What's that leave, Matt? 13 pitchers. I don't need 13 pitchers. I need 11. Nick Tomanak to the minors, I think, is appropriate. And then I guess the question is, do we try to trade Ned Garver? Like, does anybody even want him? It's the question. I can certainly try and see if anybody would give me anything for him, but I have a feeling the answer to that's going to be a big fat no. I mean, I can't do it. It's a surprisingly interesting offer, but I have nowhere to play the man. I just don't. Like, wouldn't it be bonkers to trade for Ted Williams to say, I have Ted fucking Williams on the same team as Mickey Mantle? Golly. Although his contact is 39, but he's still at 292. Like, man. There's a certain level of just... It's like a fuck you move, right? Like, I just want the best players I can possibly have, and that would be hilarious. But I just don't know where I'd play him. I don't know where I'd play him. Because he's certainly not benching Mickey Mantle or Jackie Brandt or Manny Mignoso. So, I mean... Yeah, and I'm not going to grab him just to sit him on the bench. That would be silly. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'll send down Seth Moorhead instead and keep Garver in the off chance that somebody else wants him. Okay. I kind of want to start Austin in place of somebody, like maybe Willard Nixon. Like, I want to give him a chance to start. That's the big takeaway here. I want him to see what he can do. Because goodness knows the man throws awfully hard, and there's still levels to his ability we haven't unlocked yet. I feel like we owe it to him to give him a chance to start and pitch some meaningful innings. So that's what we're going to do. That's a pretty good choice. Brings me down to 27 players. 2 have to go. Goodbye, Phil Lynch. And goodbye, Lou Jackson. Like, Lou Jackson literally brings nothing to the table. I'm going to generate everything. This looks great. Man. Do I try batting him second? Or do we just let Manny Mendoza just keep rolling the way that only he can? Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Yeah, if Mickey Mantle unlocks MVP Mickey Mantle again, I mean, we can win a pennant anytime we want. If he can't do that, then I'm a little bit less happy about our chances here. Also, my starting catcher is 37 years old. I kind of want Hal Smith starting once every 10 days. Just to keep him going. And I also want Alou to start every 10 days. I want to make sure that my older players still get through the season and can still be important contributors without feeling like we're like cutting them out or whatever. Let's go. I know normally I break down, I'm going to put this player in this slot and everything. I don't think it made any sense because I didn't have any changes to the lineup at all. So that's kind of what happened there. Ooh, Mickey Mantle is working hard to give up. I appreciate that, Mick. You are a good egg. Yeah, Bo, I really want you to be a starting pitcher. I don't want you not starting. Starting pitcher. Yeah, you're just a little bit... You have a little bit too much potential that if you can figure out your control problems, you're going to have a big day. You're going to be a big piece of this team going forward. I'm going to put Seth Moorhead on the trade block because I think somebody might be willing to give me something fairly decent for him. I just want to see what kind of offers get made to me. Opening day. Next month. Give him all the money. I don't care what the owner says. If Mickey Mantle wants it, Mickey Mantle gets it. Like, no hesitation. Mickey Mantle could ask me for a kidney. And I'd be like, do you want both? I'm kidding. I wouldn't give him both of my thing here. Okay, so Mike Garcia is going to retire. Which is fine. Ooh, a shutout for Claude Austin. Very nice. Osteen? And Don Cardwell promptly injures himself because I can't have nice things. Sigh. I don't want to test Bo Belinsky yet. I'd honestly rather have Art Mahaffey be a starting pitcher, or Ned Garver, or Willard Nixon be a starting pitcher again. Yeah, let's do Willard Nixon. And I will call up Mahaffey just because he's already on the 40-man and give him some reps there. Like, game, I would appreciate if you would stop crippling my young pitchers. That would be very delightful of you. You know, friends, I sit there and tell you, oh, I can't pitch what's his face. His control is too bad. And then I start Willard Nixon, his control is arguably even worse. Maybe I just need to suck it up and just start Bo Belinsky. I really don't want to, but I kind of feel like I might have to. I don't know. We'll have to think about that. Any cool stories? A lot of cool stories, actually. It seems like it's a decent offensive start to the season for some of our players, not so good for others. Let's just keep going for right now. I don't want to interrupt anything until I have a good reason to do so. 2 to 3 weeks for Bobby Thompson. I'm not going to put him on the IL. I'm just going to hope that he heals quickly. Game. Like, catastrophic shoulder injuries just did not happen at this rate in the 1960s. They didn't. You're treating them like modern pitchers that threw really hard, and that causes lots of injuries. It's like, back off. Alright. I said Bo Belinsky only needed to make minor improvements to get a real shot in the majors. He made minor improvements, so... Welcome to the big leagues. I wish I could say I'm delighted to have you, but it's for the worst of reasons, which is pitchers getting injured. But it's fine. It's fine. A dead arm, says the man who has pitched 11 fucking innings. Come on, dude. Just settle down. Don't be that guy. Okay, it is now June 1st. Uh-huh. Okay, hey, 200 wins for Mike Garcia. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, Maury Wills, you're not the leadoff guy anymore. I don't know why I ever thought you could be the leadoff guy. So it's gonna be... Valdiviso and Kubek, I think. I think I trust them both to be reasonably good hitters. Yeah, Maury Wilson is not leading off just because he's fast. I mean, he is fast. I'm not going to deny that. But a man who only gets on base at a 270 clip can't be hitting leadoff. I say is my number 2 hitter hits with a 290 clip. But at least Tony Kubek has lots of power and hits for a decent average. And I'm sure he'll do fine in the future here. But yeah, that's really holding us back as a team. And that's not okay. Let's keep on keeping on. I don't really have much to add. Pretty happy, all things considered, great news. How good is my scouting director? Is he good? He is pretty good. Alright. Eddie Pick is a pretty fantastic hitting coach. He's helped us develop some pretty great players. You're coming back. Gordon Rhodes has really helped our pitching staff. He's great at everything except for improving mechanics, and really, he really shouldn't be. That's not his job. His job is to make sure that the pitchers we have are the best versions of themselves. And we'll bring back our scouting director. I do like him. I could argue for a scouting director that actually favors ability, but I can't be bothered right now. And you are grumpy. You probably want a pretty size. No, you don't want that sizable a thing. Why don't you just accept the extension? Don't be weird. Alright. So, we are in first place. I think that is the first thing we need to note at the All-Star break. Certainly doesn't mean anything. Our lead on first place is very tenuous indeed. But we are in first place. That is a certifiable fact that cannot be denied. So let's see who our All-Stars are. Are there any absolute lads in here? Bill Stafford earned a spot. Good for him. Mickey Mantle. Really? Really? I get 2 All-Stars. But Minnie Minoso is so good this season. Like, I mean, he's not as good as the other first baseman. I guess that's a fair statement, but... Yeah, I mean, you could make an argument for Jackie Brandt or for Valdiviso, but I just don't think either one of them had much of a chance. Because there's just some real megastars hanging out there. Oh, well, I mean, it's still 2 All-Stars. It's not 0 All-Stars, I guess. Let's go ahead and keep going. I mean, Cloninger's adding velocity while he's injured, as did Bill Stafford, who is not injured yet. Sorry, I don't mean to sound pessimistic, but given the way this season has gone, sometimes, yikes. So, what could we do to get better this season? The Shermanator's offense is badly lacking. It turns out that even he can age. Maury Wills, I don't have time for you anymore. I just don't. As cool as it was to have, like, Maury Wills on the Dodgers, the fact is, he's Juan Pierre with better press. He's very fast and occasionally gets on base, and that's just not good enough. He's too limited. And I, quite frankly, need to do better if I can. So, I need to find an asset that I can turn into a great third baseman. And let's start with Seth Moorhead. I meant to change it to third base, but we'll see what this gets me. Bubba Phillips certainly doesn't do it for me. Andy Carey and Al Rosen are both very meh. Earl Averil's a good hitter, but he can't play third base all that well. Who's actually on the trading block, I wonder? At third base. Great hitter, not a third baseman. Good hitter, not a third baseman. Third baseman, not a good hitter. Not a third baseman. Okay hitter, okay third baseman. I mean, this might be as good as it gets. I mean, I could probably come with Dick Williams without spending too much, right? Like, I'm not saying he would be an all-star, but I'm saying he'd be a competent starter that can offer us a bit more offensively than I run fast, Maury Wills. If I offered you Wills straight up, would you take it? Yeah, he loves it. Give me Sam McDowell. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Oh, pardon me. It's Hank Aaron's older brother. Or younger brother? Older brother, I think. I think Tom Aaron is the older one. Man, Billy Bryan, if you could actually catch, you'd be quite the specimen. How about Sandy Koufax? Yeah, that's not going to move the needle. Totally fair. Totally fair. Could I get Ray Washburn? Probably not, right? Yeah, it's not going to happen. If I toss in Felipe Alou? No? Okay, that's fine. Oh no, they have Hank Aaron too. Neat. They have both Aarons. Cool story, bro. So Tom Aaron was the younger Aaron. I was wrong. You sure are cornering the market on power hitting first baseman, aren't you? With Dick Stewart and Gale Harris here. Let's just get it done. I'm sorry that the fans don't like it that I traded their terrible third baseman, but we gotta do what we gotta do, right? And Dick Williams is just flat out a better baseball player than Maury Wills, except he's not as fast. Ooh, 400th homer for Mickey Mantle. Oh no, unknown and unknown were both suspended. How dare they? How many career home runs does the Mick have already? 400 already. Holy hell. Like again, we already established she's pretty good, but oh goodness, I'm so sorry if you heard that. That's embarrassing. Oh no, apparently Maury Wills was the secret to us being the most amazing team in the majors, because all of a sudden we've gone into a free fall. I don't really see why. I mean, Dick Williams is hitting great. Yeah, I don't get it. But, I mean, yeah, our pitching staff all of a sudden is kind of pooping the bed. It is what it is. I can't do much except hope that we get better. Not for a movement like that. I can't. Like, let me be clear. I like him a lot. But that movement, I can't do it. I can't have a guy that costs up 50 home runs. What the hell are you smoking? Pat Siri is going to retire. Good for him. Many happy returns. Austin is getting better. Cardwell is 2. Belinsky is really throwing the ball real hard. That's encouraging. Damn, Ed Kirkpatrick is really improving as a catcher, which I did not expect. That's excellent news. Phil Linz is getting quite a bit better too. That's awesome. Dare I say awesome to the max. And of course, Mike Garcia got hurt because I haven't had enough starting pitcher injuries this season. Ah, fuck. You're really gonna make me start Jack Fisher again, aren't you? Like, I'm starting Ned Garver. I'm not starting Jack Fisher, given the choice. But, holy hell. Like, thank God for Bo Belinsky. If Bo hadn't come in his rookie season and been a reasonably competent starting pitcher, I think we'd be utterly fucked. I really believe that because we have just had the worst luck with injuries this season. I don't want all Los Angeles to be fucking humbled. I want us to win baseball games. A lot of them, in point of fact. Ugh. Ugh. I mean, anything can happen, right? We still have a non-zero chance. Nope, now we don't. Friends, I'd like it noted for the record, because this is incredibly important. We won 97 fucking games. If we were not in the same division, yeah, we were the third best team in Major League Baseball this season. Sorry, the fourth best team. How good was Ted Williams? I have to know. How good was Ted? Okay, good. Ted Williams is kind of garbage, so I feel a little bit better about not trading for him. Yeah, I mean, Wally Post hitting 50 home runs. Yeah, dude, I can't deal with that. That's not a thing I can handle. But I mean, in all actuality, we just got utterly destroyed in our pitching staff. Our pitching staff just got injured all over the place, and we weren't able to have the kind of staff we really needed to be our very best. I think I also just don't have enough power. We have a lot of powerful hitters that are all very competent, but I don't have the Wally Post. I don't have the big power guy that can carry us to the next level. So that's something we might want to look into for next offseason. Every starter had double-digit home runs except for Jose Valdivielso, who at least got on base at a 350 clip. But it is what it is. As long as the Yankees don't win. Oh, they didn't even make it? What? I thought the Yankees were... No, the Kansas City Athletics stormed in there. Good for them. Kansas City versus Milwaukee. That's a World Series that I don't think has ever happened before. Guys, stop interrupting my sim, please. Oh my god, game. Stop, please. I don't give a crap. I mean, okay, actually I do care a little bit. I care a little itty bitty bitty bit. Because that means I have to promote. You're alright, Jimmy O'Connell. You can have a promotion. You can be our new Class A manager. And I can try to grab ourselves a great coach. Give me the mechanics. That is almost all I care about. Here we go. Bill Lawrence. Be my manager, please. Yeah, I don't care. Mike Garcia is retiring anyway. I just don't care how injured he might be. Alright, friends. Let us discuss. Oh, I lost 2 staff members. Lost my first base coach and my bench coach. Friends, that'll be the first thing we deal with next episode. No, actually, I can do it now. I can do that now. Atlee Donald is a terrible choice for bench coach or first base coach. Lloyd Wainer is not. Let's go ahead and promote him to bench coach, I think. Wait, did you literally get promoted and then retire, you freaking jerk? Yeah, you did. I just promoted you and you're like, yeah, I'm done. Man, do I have an elite first base coach in mind? I sure don't. Atlee Donald's not that exciting. Let's find ourselves somebody who can really teach the infield, because I think I just want people who teach everything, really. Yeah, give me Monty Pearson. He can be my first base coach. I need a manager. Give me Jim McLeod, please. And I need a high A manager. Give me Roy Hughes, please. And there's that. My friends, let us discuss how the season went. So, Mickey Mantle was Mickey Mantle again. I said the one thing we needed to be a truly elite team was for Mickey Mantle to be Mickey Mantle, and he was. Be right back, friends. Alright, yes, but just to repeat what I had said before, basically we needed Mickey Mantle to play like an MVP again, and I think Mickey Mantle's gonna take home another MVP. I think it's gonna be number 7 for him, and well deserved in my opinion. Pretty much everything that's gone poorly the last 2 or 3 seasons went well this season, and I love to see it. Man, how big a trade was Minnie Mignoso for us? And he just keeps just being so freaking good. It's almost embarrassing that he's this good all the time, but he is. Oh, I'm looking at fielding. Okay. Yeah, like, he's definitely not a lock for the Hall of Fame in this timeline. He wasn't in real life till he actually made it, but still. Whew. He's having one hell of a career. Tony Kubek, just keeps getting a little better each season. It's amazing to see that. Valdevilso is still an outstanding second baseman that gets on base at a very good clip. If he doesn't have a lot of power, that's okay. That's not his job. His job is to get on base and play good second base, and he did both of those things this season. So, no issues with him. Jackie Brandt is really up and down. It's getting to the point where, as much as I like him and as consistently productive as he is, I'm wondering if there's more. I'm wondering if there's an upgraded right field, because let's face it, he's a good bat, but he's not a big bat. He's not going to wreck anybody's shit. He's just I'm extremely good at hitting baseballs, generally speaking. We need the Jackie Brandt that hits closer to 30 homers and the one that hits closer to 15. We just have to have that somewhere. We've got to get extra power, and he's really our best choice. Sherm, his power is rapidly disintegrating. He is definitely not the player he used to be. He's a catcher with 200 homers, and that might get some play in the Hall of Fame, but it's a good thing he's so good defensively, because otherwise I probably would be replacing him full-time. Dick Williams is a really nice third baseman. And while he may not be this good every season, he really was a spark for us. And I'm hopeful that giving him even more playing time, he will show that he should have gotten a bigger role in Cleveland than he did. Bobby Thompson was good. He was better last season, but he was, he was okay. He was a good defender who hit enough home runs that he didn't embarrass himself. We really need to try to upgrade the back half of the roster, though. The back third. So look for an attempt to upgrade a catcher, or maybe center field, or maybe third base, or heck, even maybe right field. We have a lot of really solid, really professional hitters, and what we don't have is the big thumper. Other than Mantle, of course. We need a big thumper. I think that's the number one thing that's going to make this lineup, which is already pretty good, legendary. Let's talk pitching, or maybe let's not talk pitching. No, we can talk pitching. Bill Stafford is the only reason I think we won 97 games. We got such poor production out of a lot of our starters that without the two of Stafford and Belinsky and Austin, I think we would have really struggled. Belinsky, it's hard to do much better in your rookie season than this. The walks got to come down, in my opinion, if he's going to be a truly outstanding starter. But I'm really happy with how he did. Claude Austin has been a nice little reclamation project, hasn't he? I only picked him because I knew of his reputation with the real-life Dodgers as being a pretty great starting pitcher, and he's starting to show why he deserves that. He's outperforming his ratings by a pretty fair margin, and that's not something you're used to seeing in real life, but he's doing it. Like, he shouldn't be striking out as many people as he does. He shouldn't be walking as few people as he does. But he is doing it. And until he proves that he can't do it, I think we keep him in the rotation. Fred Green. Holy fuck. 3+ wins from a relief pitcher is just it's cheating. It's ridiculous, and I love it that we had such a competent reliever. Our starters are kind of trash, not gonna lie. Our starters were kind of trash up and down. Willard Nixon did at least have an okay season toward the end. We need another arm in the rotation. I can't have a starter that walks more people than he strikes out. That just can't happen. We need another starter pretty desperately. We need a lot of things, though. But let's not lose sight of the fact that we won 97 games. That is the most games that the Dodgers have ever won under our tutelage. And in fact, I wonder if they've ever won more than 97 games, or if that is actually a high. Why did I click leaderboards? Don't be silly. Avi. Teams. Los Angeles Dodgers. Yeah, we just set the all-time record for wins in a season by the Dodgers after we set the all-time record for wins in a season by the Dodgers about 5 years ago. So we're a real good team. And I know it seems like I'm kind of being nitpicky, but we have to kind of be nitpicky. We kind of we don't really have too much of a chance of getting back to the playoffs if we don't make every possible upgrade. So we need a big thumper. If there's anything we need to turn this team into a juggernaut, we need a gigantic thumper. Is that player on the roster? They are not. Can we get that player? I feel like we can probably get an upgrade in right field, maybe even center field in the draft. But we're just going to have to see what happens, because I'm not at all sure who might be available to us by the time we pick. And that's the ultimate problem, right? Because we keep picking low in the draft, it's just going to be a really difficult time for us to get the really great players. They're going to get picked before us. I'd love Dick Allen, and we're not going to get him. Like, we just aren't. Yeah, I'd love Joe Morgan. Not convinced he's going to be available or a great fit for the team anyway. I love the toy cannon. I think he'd be a tremendous upgrade for the roster, but again, these are players that just aren't likely to fall to me. Like, I'm thinking maybe Rusty Staub might be a legitimate hope, and even then he's a couple years away from being a really good player. So I don't know who might still be available by the time we draft, but I'm not hopeful that the really great players I'd love to get are going to fall to us. But we'll see what happens. Anything's possible. Anything is possible. So my friends, until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.